Sofia Williams had vowed 3 years earlier that she would never lay her hands on another animal again for as long as she lived. That vow was born inside a small veterinary clinic in rural Montana, where she stood over 2 still bodies, her arms splattered with blood that refused to disappear no matter how hard she scrubbed. Dr. Henry Harrison, the mentor who had shaped her entire career, lay lifeless on the cold tile floor. Beside him, a young deer they had been desperately trying to save took its final shallow breath. In 20 minutes, Sofia's world collapsed. 20 minutes of frantic CPR, of pleading into a phone for emergency help that didn't arrive in time, of watching life slip away from both a man she loved like family and a creature they had fought to keep alive. The next morning, she locked the clinic doors for the last time, sold every piece of equipment she owned, and vanished into the wilderness near Glacier National Park. She intended to spend the rest of her life far from anything with a heartbeat, far from anything she might fail again. The cabin she bought with the last of her savings sat at the end of a dirt road that vanished beneath snow whenever winter storms rolled in. The nearest town, Whitefish, was nearly an hour away on a good day. For 3 years, she lived in deliberate isolation, venturing out only twice a month for supplies, speaking to no one beyond polite necessity. Her days were simple and numb. She rose with the sun, split wood, read by lantern light, and slept when darkness swallowed the forest. It was safer than caring, safer than loss. Everything changed on a late April morning, when melting snow turned the mountain roads into rivers of mud. Sofia was driving home from town when she saw it. A cardboard box sitting squarely in the middle of the road. She nearly drove past it. But something made her stop. The engine went quiet, and then she heard it. A faint, thin sound. A cry so small she almost convinced herself it wasn't real. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching. Alive. Her chest tightened as she stepped out of the truck and walked toward the box. When she opened the flaps, her breath caught. 4 newborn puppies lay curled together at the bottom, eyes sealed shut, fur black as night. They were so small they fit in her palms. Their mouths opened in silent cries, searching for warmth and food they hadn't had in far too long. The smallest barely moved at all. Without help, they would be dead within hours. Someone had abandoned them deliberately, on a remote road where no one was meant to find them. Every instinct told her to walk away. She had sworn off animals, sworn off attachment, sworn off risking this kind of pain again. But innocence was already in her hands. She carried the box to her truck, tucked an old blanket around it, and drove home faster than she should have, flinching at every bump. Once inside the cabin, she placed the box near the wood stove and worked on instinct alone, warming milk, improvising feedings with an eyedropper, drawing on skills she had tried to bury. 3 of the pups fed eagerly. The smallest struggled. It took nearly an hour to get enough nourishment into the fragile body to make a difference. In her mind, Sofia named the pup Hope. Sleep didn't come that night. She lay awake listening to soft whimpers, wondering what kind of dogs they might become. Their fur was unusually dark. Their paws seemed too large. Their ears already hinted at sharp points. Weeks passed, then months. The puppies grew fast, too fast. They were brilliant, powerful, and eerily coordinated. Their howls raised the hair on her arms. Other dogs reacted to them with fear. And when Sofia watched them hunt, silent and precise, denial became impossible. By the 4th month, she made an appointment with the only vet in the region. Dr. Samuel Harrison examined each animal in silence. With every pup, his movements slowed, his expression tightening. When he finished, he closed the exam room door and turned to her, his face pale. "Mrs. Williams," he said quietly, "where exactly did you find these animals?" "In a box," she replied. "4 months ago." He exhaled slowly. "Mrs. Williams, these aren't dogs." The words hung between them like a blow. "What do you mean they're not dogs?" Sofia demanded, though deep inside, she already knew. "These," Dr. Harrison said gently, "are wolves. Black wolves, Canis lupus with melanistic traits. 4 black wolf pups together is extremely rare." Sofia stared at the animals she had raised from the edge of death. Shadow watched her with unwavering amber eyes. Luna studied her with eerie intelligence. Midnight restless curiosity suddenly made sense. And Hope, the smallest, stood pressed against her leg, trusting completely. "That not possible," she whispered. "I wish it weren't," the doctor said softly. "Wolves are federally protected. I'm required to report this. Fish and Wildlife will take them to a sanctuary." Her knees buckled, and she sank onto the bench. She had bottle-fed them, loved them, raised them, and now they were going to be taken from her. "How long do I have?" she asked. "I have to make the call today," he replied. "They'll arrive within 48 hours. She looked down at Hope, who clumsily climbed into her lap, gazing up at her with complete trust. "Can I take them home until then?" Sofia asked quietly. After a long pause, Dr. Harrison nodded. "I'll tell them you're cooperating. But you need to prepare yourself. You may never see them again." The drive home was unbearable. The wolves rode in the truck bed as they always did, black coats streaming in the wind, unaware their world was about to end. At the cabin, Sofia watched them vanish joyfully into the trees. For 4 months, this forest had been their home. How could she let it be taken from them? That night, she barely slept. The wolves rested around her room as they always did, Shadow guarding the door, Luna at the foot of the bed, Midnight near the window. Hope slept pressed against her side. The knock came the next morning at 10. 2 Fish and Wildlife officers stood on her porch beside a transport van. "Mrs. Sofia Williams?" the older man asked. "Yes. We're here regarding the wolves." The moment they entered, the wolves rose together. Shadow stiffened. Luna moved protectively in front of Sofia. Midnight watched the exits. Hope pressed against her leg. "They won't hurt you," Sofia said. "These are apex predators," one officer replied carefully. "This situation isn't safe." "I found dying puppies and saved them," Sofia shot back. "Would you have preferred I left them on the road?" "No," the woman officer said gently. "But now they need a sanctuary." "Where?" Sofia asked. "Montana Wildlife Sanctuary near Helena." "Will they stay together?" The officers exchanged a glance. "We'll try." "No," Sofia said sharply. "You can't separate them." "That decision isn't ours," the man replied. Her chest tightened. "Failure again. Always failure." "Please," she whispered. "One more day? Just one." Silence stretched between them. Finally, the older officer exhaled. "Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. sharp. If anything happens, you call us immediately." The moment they left, Sofia collapsed to the floor. The wolves surrounded her at once, pressing close. "I'm sorry," she cried into shadow fur. "I'm so sorry." She spent the rest of the day with them in the forest, watching them run, hunt, explore. She burned every detail into her memory. Shadow strength, Luna intelligence, Midnight curiosity, and hope, small, relentless hope, refusing to fall behind. That night, Sofia cooked a feast of meat and vegetables. The wolves ate eagerly, unaware it was a farewell. When they settled by the fire, each took their familiar place around her. She stroked their thick coats, memorizing the rhythm of their breathing, the warmth of their bodies, the quiet comfort they gave without words. Sometime after midnight, Hope suddenly gagged and vomited. She swayed, eyes glassy, then collapsed. "No," Sofia whispered. "Not now." She was beside Hope instantly, hands moving on instinct. Rapid heart rate, pale gums, swollen abdomen, fever. Hope was crashing. Shadow, Luna, and Midnight crowded close, whining softly, their eyes fixed on Sofia, pleading. The nearest emergency clinic was 45 minutes away. Hope might not survive the drive. And even if she did, Fish and Wildlife would be called. Sofia's gaze fell on the medical supplies she had never thrown away. Antibiotics. For equipment. Surgical tools. If she didn't act, Hope would die. If she tried and failed, she would have to live with it. There was no real choice. She lifted Hope onto the kitchen table, cleared it, and laid out her tools. The other wolves backed away at her quiet request, watching in absolute silence. Palpation revealed a hard mass. Intestinal blockage. 3 days earlier, an elk bone. Too sharp. Too long. Surgery was the only option. Sofia stood over Hope, fear clawing at her chest. 3 years ago, she had watched lives slip through her hands. But this time, she could act. At 2 a.m., inside a remote Montana cabin, Sofia Williams made the first incision into the body of a wolf she loved like a daughter. Outside, the forest was silent. Inside, 3 black wolves watched without moving. 2 hours later, she found it, a jagged bone fragment lodged deep in Hope's intestine. Her hands were steady, The tissue was inflamed but intact. No rupture. No sepsis. She had caught it just in time. Sofia flushed the site, administered antibiotics, and closed the incision with careful, reinforced sutures. When she tied the final knot, exhaustion hit her all at once. The wolves approached. Shadow lowered his head beside Hope. Luna licked her sister's face. Midnight whined softly. "She going to be okay?" Sofia said, hoping it was true. She monitored Hope through the night, checking vitals, managing pain, watching for complications. The other three never left her side. At dawn, Hope's eyes opened. She tried to stand, failed, then settled back down, but she was alert, alive. At exactly 9 a.m., there was a knock at the door. Officers Benjamin and Mia stood outside beside the transport van. "Are the wolves ready?" Benjamin asked. "No," Sofia said. "One of them had emergency surgery. She can't be moved." "Surgery?" Mia echoed. "You performed surgery on a wolf?" "I have 18 years of veterinary experience," Sofia replied evenly. "She had an intestinal obstruction. Without intervention, she would have died. She needs at least a week before transport." Benjamin's expression hardened. "That was illegal." This situation just became more complicated. Sofia stepped aside. The officers froze. Hope lay by the fire, stitched and weak but alive, her siblings forming a protective circle around her. The young wolf lifted her head and stared at the strangers, not afraid, not aggressive, just confused. Mia crouched slowly, assessing Hope with a trained eye. "The sutures are professionally done," Mia said quietly. "Clean incision. Proper closure. You said intestinal blockage." "Elk bone," Sofia replied. 3 inches. No perforation. I removed it, administered antibiotics, and pain control. She'll recover, if she stays calm and monitored." Benjamin pulled Mia aside. Sofia couldn't hear their words, but Mia gestured sharply while Benjamin shook his head. They returned moments later. "Mrs. Williams," Benjamin said, stiff. "These wolves cannot legally remain here. But transporting a wolf this soon after surgery is unsafe. We need guidance from our supervisor and the sanctuary." "Until then, they stay," Sofia said. "Hope needs continuous monitoring. Separating her from her pack would risk her recovery." Mia nodded. "She right. Pack separation causes severe stress." Benjamin exhaled. 1 week. We return in 7 days. After that, all 4 wolves will be transported, regardless. And there will be an investigation into your unauthorized treatment. After they left, Sofia sat beside Hope and stroked her fur. She had won 7 days. Hope healed quickly. By day 3, she walked carefully. By day 5, she tried to play. The incision held. No infection. No complications. Which meant she was well enough to be taken. Sofia spent every moment with them. Forest walks, quiet evenings by the fire, dawns on the porch with 4 black wolves pressed against her legs. She was collecting memories she knew she couldn't keep. On the 6th day, Helen from the general store arrived. "They're a petition," she said. 60 people have signed. Some think you're reckless. Others think what you did was extraordinary. It wouldn't change federal law. But it mattered. The 7th morning came under a gray sky. This was the last day. Before noon, the officers would return. Before nightfall, the wolves would be gone. She took them into the forest one final time. They were 2 miles from the cabin when a low growl rolled through the trees. All 4 wolves froze. A grizzly burst from the brush. Massive, furious, too close. Sofia stepped back instinctively. The bear charged. The wolves moved as one. Shadow slammed into the bear's shoulder. Luna cut for the flank. Midnight went for the hind legs. Hope, still healing, launched at the bear face. The forest exploded. The bear roared and struck, claws ripping air inches from flesh. Shadow took a hit and rolled, rising again without hesitation. Luna was thrown against a tree and sprang back. Midnight locked onto the bear haunch. Hope forced the bear to split its focus. They weren't attacking to kill. They were defending, buying time. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching. Protecting her. At last, the bear broke, backing away, then turning and crashing into the trees. The wolves chased it far enough to be certain, then raced back to Sofia. They circled her, frantic, checking her for injury. Shadow bled from the shoulder. Luna bruised along the ribs. Midnight limped. Hope sagged with exhaustion, but her stitches held. Sofia collapsed to her knees and pulled them close. "You saved me," she sobbed. "You saved me." They stayed like that for a long moment before returning to the cabin. Sofia treated their wounds with practiced care. None were life-threatening. Pack tactics had minimized the damage. Just before noon, officers Benjamin and Mia arrived. They froze at the sight of bandaged wolves. "What happened?" Benjamin demanded. Sofia told them everything. Mia stared at the wolves in disbelief. "They fought off a grizzly," she said slowly. "Together? They saved my life," Sofia said quietly. "These wolves you say are too dangerous. They protected me. They're my family. I'm theirs." Benjamin was silent for a long moment. Then he pulled out his phone and made a call. Sofia watched his expression shift from rigid authority to something softer. When he hung up, he exhaled. "I spoke with my supervisor. She contacting the sanctuary director and the regional coordinator. What happened here? Raising 4 black wolves, performing emergency surgery, a bonded pack defending a human from a grizzly. There's no protocol for it." "So what happens now?" Sofia asked. "We're not taking them today," Mia said. "There will be a formal review, possibly a special permit." Sofia sank onto the porch. "They might stay?" "It's possible," Benjamin said. "Not guaranteed, but possible." Over the next 3 months, Sofia cabin became a place of quiet scrutiny. Biologists observed the wolves. Veterinarians examined them. Behavior specialists documented their bond. What they found was undeniable. The wolves were healthy, stable, and inseparable from each other and from Sofia. Whitefish rallied behind her. The petition grew into the thousands. Experts testified that the situation was unprecedented. And slowly, the system began to bend. The final decision arrived in December. Sofia was granted a special federal permit. Her land was designated a private wolf sanctuary. Shadow, Luna, Midnight, and Hope could remain together. When the letter arrived, Sofia sat on her porch with 4 black wolves pressed against her and wept. Hope climbed into her lap, far too big now, curling up as if she were still that fragile pup from a roadside box. "We made it," Sofia whispered. As the sun dipped behind the Montana peaks, a woman and 4 wolves sat in silence, whole, unbroken, and home. Some bonds defy explanation. Some rules are not made for miracles. And sometimes, saving another life is how you save your own.